We're joined by New York Red Bulls head coach Troy Lesesne. As always, raise your hand and direct it towards me, and I'll call you ask Troy a question. First thing I saw was Anthony Merced. Anthony, you have the floor.
Coach, can you speak about the mentality in the second half in particular? The game seemed to be going very well, even though you didn't get a goal in the first half. What happened in the second half?
Yeah, before I start, a couple of things. One, I want to say best of luck to Ibra tomorrow on the second team. They have a big match for Chicago in the playoffs for them in this next round. Can we get some of that noise down? It's a little difficult to hear. But I'm wishing him the best of luck, and what they've done this year is really impressive, and that group is really come a long way in terms of their development. First half, like you said, really good first half. I felt like we were on top of the game, created momentum, created chances, but again, needed a couple more clear-cut chances. I think the goal that we score is questionable, whether that's a foul or not. Frankie's clearly playing the ball in that moment, and I think the whistle comes a little bit too early there. Second half, I think that we didn't really settle into the game. It's almost like we were playing the game in the middle of the field, and that's obviously not what the first half looked like. So we needed to be able to create a little bit more sustained attacks higher up the field at the beginning of the second half, which kind of led to like a 50-50 type game, and that's clearly not what the intent was. But I would say, though, even going down a man, I give so much credit to this group. I really do. They continue to fight. It's a little bit unlucky in some ways on the night, but we have to keep saying we make our own luck. And I just told the group now, look, some of the results, again, go our way. So we're not done yet. And we have to keep believing that we can get results, which we can. It's going to be difficult, but we have 3 matches left, and the door's not shut yet.
Next go to John Lupa.
Thank you. Troy, Corey Burke in his career has had 10 goals in 10 appearances against Chicago. He scored the tying goal when you guys played them in Chicago this year. Was there any consideration to start him, or were you maybe thinking of bringing him on earlier?
Yeah, I'm really happy, one, that Corey got on in this game and was able to play more minutes in this game. He's been dealing with an injury really since he's come back from international duty, so he featured versus Miami, and then you saw that he had to sit for a couple of weeks just to get that healthy again. He was able to come on, I'm trying to think of the last match he came on, maybe Austin.
Yeah.
He came on for a few minutes there, but we're trying to get him back into a way that he can build from, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I was happy with seeing him be able to get 20 minutes in this game, even in a difficult circumstance. So if he's fully fit, it's a different conversation altogether.
Next go to Daniel Forenstein.
Troy, how frustrating is it that you basically dominated the entire first half? Stats were in your favor. You gave them nothing. And it's always that one moment that just snowballs this entire situation.
Yeah. I mean, extremely frustrating. I think you see the moment that happens with the red card. And what I said to Haas is by no means is that the difference in the game. It's a moment in the game, that's for sure. But it's not the difference in the game. And we're going to support him as we always do. I mean, he's a big part of our group, and he's had some really good performances this year. But that moment, we need to control that moment on the set piece again. This is a little bit like us not maybe capitalize on the opportunities we create. We're giving up too many set piece goals, regardless of being down a man. And it is frustrating. It's really frustrating to see some of those opportunities at the end of the game, come off the way they do. The one that Frankie hits, it's like, I think everybody in the stadium's like, come on. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is almost comical. But we gotta continue to have the mentality we're gonna find it though, and have the belief that we're gonna find that goal, and that'll make the difference. Certainly for Cincinnati on Wednesday.
Next go to Michael Batista.
Coach, a few weeks ago I asked about playing younger players this last stretch of season, and today we saw Julian Hall make his MLS debut. First off, what does that mean to see someone like him make his debut? And can you also talk about the decision to bring him on? I know the team was down a man, the team was looking for a goal. The decision to bring him on over another player like Hurtado.
Yeah, thank you for that. Julian is someone that over the last year in particular, prior to me being the head coach, really more so whenever I was an assistant coach, I've been able to watch him and really work with him and that entire group of 15s that won the national championship. There's so many good players coming from that group as they progress and develop through our academy system. But Julian's one that, we struck a really good relationship. I think I earned his trust, and clearly his progress has been from the 15s to now with the second team and playing a lot and scoring goals there. And it's just like any other player in a lot of ways. When you perform with the second team and you're able to produce, then the first team's going to look at you, and if there's an opportunity there and he's earned it, then we're going to give young players a chance. The signing of Julian, I've never really been asked much about him, but the signing of Julian is one of the biggest moments in this club's history in terms of the attention, and the clubs that were after him are on the highest level. So for us to be able to secure a young talent like that and him to have the trust in us is very important. And I think sends a clear signal about what we're building now. And Julian's going to be a big part of what we build in the future. Tonight, I told him before he went in, really difficult circumstance. Don't worry about that. Go have fun. Go enjoy the moment. You've earned this moment. And I think he went and did that. And now he's got to turn his focus towards the second team match tomorrow, and that's being a pro. But I'm really proud of that kid. I'm excited to work with him in the future, and I'm glad he's entrusted us with his development pathway.
And next we go to Maria Isabel.
Hey coach, how do you feel and how do you recuperate after this loss, knowing that the regular season is almost over?
I'd say, how do you feel is a really loaded question right now. So we need more than just a press conference to answer that and unpack that. I think Daniel mentioned my frustration earlier, and I'm a little frustrated right now. But I'm the type of person that I'm ready to get to tomorrow and prepare for Wednesday, because the end of the regular season is coming, but we have 3 major matches in front of us that we've competed well with Cincinnati, and they've had the better of us, losing in penalties and losing in the regular season 2-1. But that's a match we can go and get a result. Toronto at home is a match we can get a result. Nashville on the road is really difficult again, but we can do it still as a group. And that's my mindset. A little frustrated, but tomorrow we're going to wake up and we're going to go at it again.
Hey everyone, we have time for 2 more questions. We'll first go to Sean McCaffrey, and then we'll finish up with Gary Button.
Coach, despite the numbers, you guys were pretty dominant at some points. They had 3 times the clearances rather than you did. You had triple the crosses, 5 times the corners. They had 0. Other than the obvious of putting one in the back of the net, what do you think was the missing piece or pieces in the first half alone? You probably had 10 great looks on goal.
Yeah, I actually think that there's more moments that we could create a really, really clear look at goal, and we almost rush it a little bit. So, like, a good example would be in the second half, Omir gets into a great spot. It's really early in the second half. This is probably our best attack when we were 11-11, and Kyle's making a really dynamic run, and I think that maybe Omir can slip Kyle, and Kyle either finishes himself or plays it back across to where our numbers are. I love Omir's mindset of trying to get a shot off because he's been so productive with scoring goals. But I think that's a good example. We had a few more of those maybe in the first half where we almost were rushing the play a little bit too much. So that's how I would answer that in terms of more production.
And we'll finish up with Gary.
Of course, tonight's match was really disappointing, but now you got to forget that. You got to focus on Cincinnati. Is it going to be any different going into that approach for that game? Because now you're going to need 3 points out of that place, and since it's out of your hands, you need help. So what's the game plan? Is there going to be any changes? You're going to continue on? You like the group, you like how they fight in the middle, and the resilience is always there, but not the goals.
Yeah.
How do you get that when the place was going to be very difficult to play against a team that's focusing on a shield?
Yeah, I think that's a hard question to answer in terms of that's been a question we've faced all year long, right? I think what you've seen though is we continue to generate way better attacks, way more intentional attacks, and so I want to continue to have that group be in the mindset that we're arriving in good areas, and that we can capitalize on this by maybe making an extra pass, maybe being selfish at the right moment. But I don't think it's any kind of magic formula that I'm going to be able to solve prior to going into Wednesday. This group is a group that is in every match, and I think we're going to be in the match on Wednesday. It's against the best side in the Eastern Conference all year long. If we don't capitalize on our chances there, then it's going to be a hard night. And like you said, we need 3 points. What differences will we see? That's hard to say right this second, but we'll probably have some going into Wednesday because we're going to need to shake it up a little bit to get the result.
Coach, thank you for your time.